So welcome everyone to Temple Time and Sacred Rhythms. This is month 3 in our monthly Moon Lodge Circle, and I thought it would be fun for everyone to get to dip their toe in there if they wanted to. So we're going to do it today. So this week, we are talking about the importance of deep cleansing. And so this is a fun one because we're going to introduce a lot of different womb cleansing tools. And what you need to know is that some of you are in other classes with me, and I yell a lot about trauma clearing. All of these processes that we're going over today serve that purpose. They can, because let's face it, our womb is where we hold a lot of our history, and it's where a lot of our blood collects. So that is the Akashic record in our body. So doing cleansing work there is going to cleanse all the way down to the cellular level. And the physiological cleanses that we do really, really, really help on all the other levels. You'd be amazed. So I thought this would be a good one to share with everyone. So let's call in Sacred Space. Take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're just going to drop our grounding cords, send our roots down. Just feel the earth underneath us. Feel that pull. She pulls anything that we don't need. We just give it to her and she takes it. So just let her cleanse you. And then inhale, draw that earth energy up through your body. Send it up and out through the top of the head, connecting all the way up to that area of space that we call the void, which holds the divine source. Connect there and draw that cosmic energy down, down, down through your body. Send it all the way down into the earth, activating the as above, so below flow. And then connecting with that flow, breathing in and breathing out, activate the as within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. Moving to the north, we welcome Mother Earth. We give thanks to be here in a physical body. Moving to the south, we welcome water. We welcome clear, clean, current, emotional energy. We welcome love, joy, flow, and abundance. Moving to the west, we welcome air and mind. We welcome clarity, all of our guides, angels, allies, and helpers. And moving to the east, we welcome fire and movement and transformation into our circle. Moving to the center, we welcome the divine feminine and the divine masculine in sacred right relationship. We call that beautiful energy down through our bodies, and we call up Mama Gaia to pull and magnetize that energy through us. And we welcome our own sweet, extraordinary souls into this circle. We ask that all of these energies be with us, pray with us, and dance with us for our mutual benefit. Aho. All right, everyone. So this is a very, very auspicious moon for so many reasons. But in this class, we go back to the 13 original clan mothers and talk about the energy that the earth and the moon contribute, not just the stars out there, although the stars a lot of times play into this energy. And this month is Weighs the Truth. So we have all these big astrological events coming up, the eclipse, all of the things that are in the news. And this grandmother, the grandmother that governs this moon cycle, her name is Weighs the Truth. And I always find this medicine story so, it gives you such deep insight into what the original peoples knew that we have forgotten as modern day humans, that every single choice we make on this planet matters. Whether anyone knows about it or not, it leaves an imprint. And it leaves, if we leave something out of balance by our choice, then it has to be balanced. If not, then we'll see the chaos ensuing that we see right now, because we've forgotten this law. So as we move through our lives and through our days, especially, and this moon cycle begins Sunday at 4 a.m. So in just a few hours, like 48, something like that. We want to begin to really be conscious of our choices. So this is the story of one of the grandmothers that had to make some really hard choices. And this moon cycle holds a lot of the themes that are in this medicine story. So this grandmother is the keeper of equality and the guardian of justice. She's the fair judge of divine law and the destroyer of deception. So truth and not truth is going to be a theme. She's the mother of truth and the protectress of the underdog, another theme. And she's the mother of self-determination and responsibility. So you're going to see a lot of these things play out on the world stage and even in your own life. She's the mother of friendship, planetary unity, and mutual understanding. She teaches us how to find the ability to respond and be self-determined, how to feed the positive and not the negative by using divine law, how to use equality with justice, being accountable for our actions and words, and how to use personal integrity, ethics, and values to find solutions. She teaches us how to accept the truth. So you may find yourself in situations, or we may all find ourselves in situations, especially now, when truths that we weren't aware of are being revealed. And in this particular story, there is a woman who's down on her luck, and it was a really skinny winter, and she takes extra food from the food stores. And then there's another woman that knows that this happened, and she just starts gossiping about it. Now, in our day and time, this stuff goes on all the time. We never think about it. In this particular time, it was a big deal. And they had, this particular grandmother had to really, really drop in and figure out how to balance this for future generations. And how she did it was very, very amazing. So I'm going to leave it at that, leave you a little teaser and get you to read the story, because it's brilliant. And you're going to see lots of themes like that this month. You just are. So other books that we use in here and that we'll be taking some things out of, even in this particular class, the 13 Original Clan Mothers, Sacred Woman by Queen Afua, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom by Christina Northrup, and I never can say this lady's first, it's Alyssa Vitti. She wrote The Woman Code. But all of these books, and there's more out there now, that teach us as women how to eat and how to care for our bodies in a conscious way, because our bodies are the storehouse. They hold the key for so many things on this planet. And if we, just like, you know, our society has taken a lot of things for granted, truth being one of them. If we as women take our bodies for granted, the whole planet suffers. And the more we can take back responsibility for our bodies, the more we support this planet and create a future for our children. So I'm going to pull this down. And once again, I'll remind all of you that the most valuable gift you have is your physical body. I mean, people stand in line to get one nowadays. And we, even though it may not feel like it right now, we plan to be here right now. This is a most auspicious time to be in human form on the planet. There are more people on this planet than there have ever been in the history of this planet, for a reason we'll talk about later. But when you treat your body well, it can be a vehicle for your consciousness, but it can also do such amazing magic, such amazing things. So to squander or demean it in any way is a horrible offense. But we do it all the time. And the food we eat and how we spend our time. So in Sacred Rhythms, we've been talking about healthier ways to feed ourselves. So hopefully those of you that attend all the time are finding some peace with that and finding ways that work for you. But for the rest of you, for all of us, this is something you already know. The one thing your body does well is remember. It is a virtual computer. It takes in, records, and stores everything you expose it to on all levels: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So I've been screaming a lot lately about how much time we spend on screens as we sit here together in front of a screen. I am not knocking technology. The fact that we can meet together from all over the world is amazing. But if we use our time just here and we forget the outside world and we allow ourselves to just, you know, even a phone, have it in front of us all the time, we're being programmed. We're being programmed for fear. And so getting yourself out in nature, getting yourself outside, connecting to things that are real and tangible that you can trust is imperative right now. One of the things you need to remember is that it just takes a minute. It doesn't take very long at all for any of those levels of your body, your mental, physical, emotional, to go south, to accumulate garbage just like a back room or back closet. So physically, we store garbage as fat. When we take anything in, so even those nanoplastics that they're finding everywhere, when our body takes that in and it doesn't know what to do with it, and obviously it doesn't know what to do with plastic, what does it do? It wraps it in a little layer of fat and stores it somewhere. Sometimes places that you don't realize until you look and go, oh, wow. And so a lot of the symptomology in our body can be arrested by paying attention to what we put in it. Mentally, if you watch, listen, ruminate on information, good or less than good, your mind's going to record it. And I'm to the point now that I can literally feel, even if it's good information, lower vibrations as I'm listening and watching something. And now, and I'm 65, I finally have the willpower to turn it off. So the more you can do that for yourself, the better. Emotionally, if you don't drain off the stress of the day, it can become literal pain in your joints. That's where arthritis comes from. A lot of other autoimmune maladies. If you don't check your emotions, if you just swallow them and don't deal with them, especially now, especially now, I am watching as many people, because in the United States, one of the wonderful marvels of the medical community is that there's a pill for just about everything. And you can, if you have a lot of emotional stuff that you don't want to deal with, you can just take a pill and not feel it. Or you used to be able to do that. With all the galactic light coming in, I've seen several incidents of this where either that begins to not work or it starts to break down the body in other places and they pull the medicine away. And if that person has been on that medication for years, it is a rude awakening for them and their family. So better to do that clearing as it comes up instead of trying to avoid it. And becoming spiritually stagnant, all of us know what that feels like. So what we want to talk about in here today is the gentle release of things that are no longer serving us. And we're going to do that on many different levels. There's a huge emphasis in Queen Afua's work on clearing the digestive tract. Why? Because it sits right on top of your womb space. And if it's full of old stuff that hasn't cleared out, it is smashing down your creative center. There's no creating happening, if that is the truth. The wonders of cleanses and juicing and all of those things is that it clears those systems. When those systems get clear, then all the things that we want, like downloads of guidance, information, clear thought, lots of energy, they're all available. And so clearing and cleansing, especially the digestive system, is going to give you access to a broader band of spiritual information. And I've shared this in a couple of classes. In one of my priestess classes, one of my priestesses shared that she just did a liver cleanse. She just finished one. And, you know, liver, we hold a lot of really toxic stuff in there. And so there were some emotional meltdowns. But after all that was over and she finished the cleanse, she said, I keep seeing blue light around everything. Now, it's not been that long ago that lots of people were seeing that. And now that she's done a cleanse, she can see it. So that's what, when I say we get an access to a broader band, that's what these practices can do. They can clear you enough. And now, especially when we're right at the galactic rim and that is never going away, it's just going to get bigger. This is the opportune time to start doing this work if you haven't already. So I've been doing this since, before 2006, because I was ready to quit in 2006. I was trying to decide if I was going to stick with it or not. So it's probably been 25 years that I've been teaching this. And I was just wondering, and it was actually, oh my Lord, actually, it was exactly to the day. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe this is happening. It was the Mahashivaratri, which is tonight. And I had stayed up all night chanting Shiva. And this is what dropped in. Maggie decided to come visit the next morning. Mary Magdalene popped in. And this is what she said. Well, the first thing I saw was bright red, vibrant flesh. And then it would shift back and forth to the wall of a cave, like a red rock wall with hieroglyphs all over it, like in Egyptian tombs. And as that appeared before my eyes, Mary Magdalene spoke, and she said, this is a healthy womb. It's the storehouse of all knowledge, all history, all knowing, for all time as you know it. When a pure seed enters a pure womb, it has access. Let this land. It's like your body is a library of information. And when it's clear and clean, you can access anything. So when a pure seed enters a pure womb, it has access to the highest knowledge, the largest amount, so to speak. Within this library, there's a vast storehouse of information. Like all libraries, there's particular emphasis, science libraries, natural history libraries. It's dictated by each particular womb, in each particular womb, by the strains of DNA in that individual, and these were her words, the seed donor. It's also dictated by what particular strains are currently present in the mother at the time. So race, nationality, short-term history, recent and current past lifetimes. Those are all going to be in the front stacks, so to speak. But also contained in every womb is access to all history for all time. You do not have to go looking for information. You have to drop in to get it. And you have to be clear. The purity of the womb determines the availability of this information. If the womb is toxic, if it is holding unspent emotion, like fear, shame, guilt, anger, and all the attendant stories that go along with these emotions in the physical world, then the womb is like an unorganized library. There are books stacked here and there, blocking access to all other information. It's dusty and uninviting, and may even become ill and diseased if this is not remedied. But if a womb is healthy, if its holder has worked through her stuff and made peace with herself, if she's drawn to herself a partner who's done the same thing, then her womb is a beautiful, enticing place to be. High souls volley to come to the planet through her body so they can have physiological access to this information through her. Likewise, if she chooses not to utilize her womb to bring another being into existence, she can use her womb to access this information for others. She can use her womb as a tuning fork to call in information and high guidance. She can use her womb to manifest healing. There are a myriad of things she can use her womb to create that will benefit herself, her community, and her world. This is why these teachings are so important for your world at this time. This planet is the womb of the universal mind. It's only one womb, there are many others, but this planet has been the physiological birthplace of many an incarnation of the universal mind. Very high beings have been birthed by her. However, she too is showing signs of womb dis-ease. But this disease can be turned around. She can be healed and continue to be a viable womb or chalice to hold intelligence. Now, here's the kicker. The information, the tools necessary to make this radical shift in a very short period of time are housed within the wombs of the women of this age. Y'all plan to be here. You have the ability to heal your planet and save your world. It's up to you. Do you desire to keep this beautiful place a safe haven for the next 7 generations and beyond? Do you desire a place for your children to grow and learn? It is your duty as a woman to pull this information to the planet now. All the assistance you need is here. The goddess has heard your prayers. Even now, her energy has descended, and the vibrations are adjusting to make way for her appearance. Look for her. Feel her. Her presence will be unmistakable. Obviously, I decided not to quit teaching. You can't just say no to that. So I'm going to give you some tools that you can use to gain access. When you begin to use the tools, especially the eating tools, and we've already talked about that in here, but when you start to really clean up your act in the food department, your body goes, oh, she's doing it. And those cells start to open up and release old emotion, old stories, old energy. So when all that stuff gets out of the way, then information, higher vibrational information can come in. It says when we do this, we gain access to the portal of information housed right within our own body. Many call this intuition, and it is. But the secret most of us don't know is that it's not random. It just doesn't happen. We don't just wake up and, oh, look, it's our birthright. We're all designed to do this. And it seems random and fleeting to us right now, or like it's really hard, or we really have to work at it. And maybe every once in a while we might get some wisdom. The reason is because we're bombarding our physical tool with so much stuff that it doesn't need. So the electronics, the heavy laden fatty foods, not that you don't need good fat, but all the junk that you know when you eat it is junk. That keeps your body from running it's like putting sugar in the gas tank. It keeps it from moving the way it wants to move and doing what it wants to do. Ron, good to have you. So when we begin to honor our vessel, and this is true for everyone, male and female, our intuition and our guidance flows like water. We become solid and stable in our world and able to anchor spiritual information into the physical with a lot more grace. So I'm going to talk to you about what a lot of the women that are in Sacred Rhythms already know. One of the tools that we use are flower essences. You can get all of these at any health food store nowadays, or you can get them all online. And the ones that are listed here, you can get through Bach Flower Essences, but you can also just Google them. There's a lot of really good companies out there now. Back when I started this, oh, it was hard. They were hard to find, but not now. Now you can even learn to make them yourself. And that's really the preferred way. But we use these, and we'll use these. This is the last month. We've been using this particular grouping of flower essences for the past 3 months. So we'll use them through March, and then in April we shift. So Alpine Lily promotes true femininity and grounds that in through the female organs. Star of Bethlehem, spiritual receptivity, opening yourself to higher worlds. Star of Bethlehem is also really good for shock, for clearing out traumatic events. So is Black-Eyed Susan, and Black-Eyed Susan also helps you dig up buried emotions. Angelica, of course, connects you to the angelic realm and helps you feel that realm around you all the time. And then Rose is one of the highest vibrational beings on the planet. And her vibration allows you to just raise yours as high as it can go. So if you don't know what flower essences are literally that. It's like the emotional, spiritual wisdom of the plant. And how do you harvest that? Well, when a flower, and many other plants, when they're in full bloom and they're at that peak where they're holding their wisdom as high as they can hold it, you go out and in a prayerful way, you gather them and float them on water out in the sun. And they literally give that wisdom, it's imprinted into the water. Then that water is held in a carrier. Some people use vinegar, some people use brandy, but it's held in suspension so that that vibration is in the water. Then this works holographically. So a tiny little drop in a glass of water or in a bathtub of water is like a bathtub full of flowers. And you take that wisdom in. And you can put it on your skin, you can drop it on your tongue, you can put it in water and sip it, you can put it in your bathtub. So if you decided to get one of these or several, I keep them. I make a blend every month, and some people purchase those, and I keep them on my bathtub. And then every time I'm in there, I squirt a drop in my mouth. If I'm getting ready to take a shower or bathe, I put some in the bathtub. And so I get this, it's kind of, for want of a better term, IV drip. It's like every day I get a little bit of it. And because it is so gentle, most people's experience of flower essences is one of two things. Either it's like, well, nothing happened. Maybe it just doesn't work. The way flower essences work is so subtle that I'll tell people, just do it. Just take it every day. And then next year, about this time, look at how your life has changed. Flower essences have given me new homes, homes that I could never pick out on my own, that I didn't even know existed. And it's like my perfect spot. And they dropped it in my lap. The flower beings are real, and this is how you work with them. So play. Another tool that we use are essential oils. Flowers are the highest vibrational beings on the planet. And so we can harvest and harness their energy, and they want us to. When I go out to make flower essences, those little flowers are screaming, pick me, because they want to give us their essence, because they want to help. It's like they want to plant it. Can you learn? Yes, absolutely. Very easy to learn to create flower essences. Email me, Ron. I can send you something. It'll have to be in the mail because I don't have it typed up on my computer. But I used to teach women how to do that. It's pretty easy. Essential oils is another way, and really is the more obvious way and the more fun way because they smell good. If you like to play in scents, essential oils is the way to go. The reason is because, these are like amazing substances. They're one of the very few things that can cross the blood-brain barrier in the body. So they can work. I mean, of course they work topically, but you can put drops of them in your palm, rub your hands together and inhale, cup your hands over your nose and mouth, inhale 3 or 4 times, and all of the sesquiterpenes, all of the substances inside the oil that do the work in the brain go straight in through the olfactory system. You don't have to, the route of digestion is a long journey, and this can be immediate. So they can, and a lot of people nowadays know this and know about essential oils, but they're literally the blood of the plant. So if it's a good quality harvested essential oil, it won't go rancid. When they raided the tombs in Egypt, there were lots of things that were left behind, like gold and silver and very ornate things, but they took the oil every single time because it was the most precious thing. It was the elixir of the gods. So I tell people this was mom's first medicine. And if you have something you need to heal, essential oils are the way to do it. Frankincense is the one we use in the Portal Zero, which we're in right now. And so we've been using it for a couple of months. We'll use it for one more. It's one of the highest vibrational oils. Rose is the other one. So you can use it in your bathtub. You can use it to anoint yourself, but it's a really good way to raise your vibration and heal. And then in here we use herbal tonics or tea infusions. One of the best ways to support your body is to make an infusion out of herbs you gather out of your own yard. The reason is that if you spend even a tiny bit of time out there, Mom is going to send you what you need. So if you just do a weed walk and walk around your yard, hopefully you can identify edible plants and you don't choose, like there's some that aren't, like foxglove is poisonous back here in this picture. I wouldn't want you to do that. But things like dandelion leaves, things that are growing in your yard naturally, and you know for certain that there's no pesticides around. Go out and do a weed walk and pick some. Get some fresh, clean water, boil it, bring it to a boil, put the herbs in there, turn off the heat, and put a lid on it and let it steep for 15 minutes. And then you can drain the herbs out, strain them out, and just sip the tea all through the day and see how you feel. It's like there is so much life force in that elixir that you won't get anywhere else. And it's just for you. And she's been doing that for centuries. And we're just the generation that, wakes up in a new world every day and doesn't realize that's happening. So the herbal tea we use in here in the first 3 months is raspberry leaf because it's a good womb tonic. Now, if you're nursing, if there's a possibility you could be pregnant, do not use raspberry leaf tea. When we say womb tonic, what it does is it works on the lining of the womb and helps it clear and cleanse itself. So many of us, when emotional relationships that we don't know what to do with, that we don't process, what happens to them? Many of us have done the thing where we've been in a relationship and then the bad breakup, we don't want to think about it, so we go find another one. And we never process that one out of our system. Where does it go? Right down in the garage, right down in second chakra. So doing little infusion therapies like drinking raspberry leaf tea can help you lift some of that out. Sure. Absolutely. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but it is way fine for you to just listen. So other things you can do to cleanse your body, cleanse your womb, and these are gentle ones as long as you make them gentle. Aloe vera juice, the same thing it does for the outside of your skin, it will do for anything it touches on the inside. So it will nourish and cleanse and support your whole digestive tract. Be careful, start small. It's a cleanse. You hear me? So maybe just an ounce to begin with, and you can work your way up. But just go slow, and you'll know when you've hit it. It will literally revitalize all the systems of the body, the skin, the blood, the digestive system, all of it. Wheatgrass is another one. It has all the vitamins and minerals the body needs except for vitamin C. And a lot of people like to go get those wheatgrass shots. It is a potent detoxifier. So many times if you drink a little wheatgrass and then you feel a little bit nauseous, it's already working. That's what that means. And it means you probably have a lot of things to cleanse. So once again, go slow. If you would rather, you can, they have wheatgrass tablets, and a lot of times that's a little bit more gentle, and you could work up to a shot of wheatgrass if you wanted to. But that's another way. You have to make sure it's organic, but it's another way to really give your body a shot, a big dose of what it needs, and get a cleanse going in a short period of time. If you are highly, I need to say this out loud, gluten intolerant, I wouldn't even try it. Theoretically, wheatgrass shouldn't hurt you because but if it has been tainted with anything, some of what your body's allergic to may be in it. So substitute something like spirulina or kelp powder, and it will have a similar effect. Salt baths. Salt baths are always a good go-to. This is a Queen Afua recipe. As you can see, 2 to 4 pounds of Epsom salts in a bathtub. I would shrivel up. So you don't have to use that much. And maybe even a better approach is to just have a jar of it on the side of the tub and put about a half a cup in your tub every time you get in it. And what that's going to do is pull that toxic emotion out of your joints so that your body doesn't hurt. Be careful not to use too much salt if you have high blood pressure, because it can elevate that. Salt bath, or excuse me, steam baths or saunas, sweat lodges, avail you. For me, this is my favorite way to cleanse. There is nothing better than crawling out of a sweat lodge. You feel clean all under and everywhere because it cleanses toxins out of everywhere. And yes, sauna is a big thing now. And yes, if you have the availability, do it. But sweating your prayers, nothing like it. And then take sun baths. And I was in another class today. Was it today or yesterday? Yesterday. And we were talking about sun gazing, which is also a good way to clear the mind, clear the third eye, clear if you have migraines, it's a really good remedy. And the way you do sun gazing appropriately is an hour before sunrise or an hour before sunset. And you don't look directly at the sun, you look to the side of it. But it will send enough photons into your lenses, which are the other piece of the body that never regenerates. So it has all your internal history in those lenses. It will clear that out. You can also just sit out in the sun and let the sun heal you. Once again, when you start to cleanse, drink tons of water, drink detox tea, and get plenty of rest. If you are interested in raising your vibration even higher, consider Light Infusion 101. You can still get in there. For those of you in Sacred Rhythms, if you haven't done your womb health assessment, now would be the time. So the homework for this month, continue with the eating healthy, drinking 8 glasses of water a day, starting your day with lemon water, daily spiritual practice and time outside, and then shifting your diet, adding some of those cleansing tools, and using your essential oil and your flower essences and your tea. Does anyone have any questions about that's a ton of information? Anybody have any questions about any of that? And just unmute and speak it because I won't see or hear you.
Okay. This is Lynn. I have a question about, is a colonoscopy, you know, all the stuff you have to do before it, does that count as cleaning out your intestines? Sorry.
Only you would ask that question.
Yeah.
Well, it works. I mean, it
Yeah.
serves the purpose, right? So yeah, it would
Right.
count.
Yeah. You talked about colonics before.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
one many years ago, but
Yeah.
we haven't talked about that in this one yet.
Right. Yeah. And we talked about it in boot camp. Yeah. Colonics is always a good way to clear the intestinal tract. But yeah, if they're gonna do all the preparation that you would do for a hospital. Yeah. Answer, yes. It counts. Anybody else? Top that question. Okay. So every time we come to the Moon Lodge, we get to go meet the grandmother. And so that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to invite all of you to get comfortable, get in a place where you can close your eyes and sit back and relax a little bit. And we won't do background music because I'll post this on YouTube and they'll kick us out if we do music. So we'll just do it without this time. So I'm going to invite everyone to just begin to breathe. Close your eyes and settle. Settle into your body. And just drop your energy in and down. And as you're breathing and relaxing your body, disengaging your body from all of the onslaught of 3D life, let yourself go inside your inner temple. And imagine yourself sitting on the side of a big grassy hill. And as you look down the hill, there's a big patch of woods down in front of you. And there's a soft dirt path right beside you that leads down into the woods. So take some time and follow that soft dirt path down the hill and enter the forest. And as you enter, you feel your body relax even more. You notice the bark on the trees. You notice everything is budding. Some of the trees are even showing their flowers. The squirrels are scampering about. The birds are singing. Robins are squawking at you. And you are walking down, down, down that path, further and deeper into the woods. And very soon you're going to come across a cave covered with brush. You move the brush away from the entrance of the cave and you step inside. Allowing your eyes to get used to the darkness of the cave, you notice a soft red glow down a long hallway that leads down into the earth. And so you take a moment to allow that cool dampness, to allow your eyes to adjust, to allow your body to settle in. And then you walk down that long hallway toward that red glow. When you arrive, you find yourself at the entrance of an altar room. There's a beautiful gazing pool in the center, and there are red and gold tapestries all around, There's candles lit and incense burning and roses and lilies all around the walls. And by that pool, that reflection pool, is a soft red pillow. And so I invite you to go sit on that soft red pillow. And as you sit down and you gaze into the water, you notice that there's a reflection of the moon, a tiny little crescent, and the stars all floating in the water. And you settle yourself and begin to just watch that reflection of the moon. And very soon, the moon begins to rise, the water begins to ripple, and up out of the water comes the grandmother with that moon resting on her head. And weighs the truth, smiles sweetly at you, and welcomes you into the space. She reaches her hands out and invites you to get into the water with her. And much to your surprise, the water is warm, tingly, as a matter of fact. It starts to charge all your cells. And as you connect with this grandmother, oh, you just feel held and grateful. And she says, ask me anything. So talk to this grandmother. Ask her what you need to know. What is going to be helpful and beneficial for you? Are there any burning questions? Ask her what intentions you need to set for this new moon cycle. What support systems do you need to put in place? Just talk to her. See what she tells you. So knowing that you can come back here anytime and should throughout the month. Thank the grandmother for being here, for giving you her guidance and her information. Allow her to help you out of the water. And then as you rest on your red pillow, watch as she sinks slowly back down into the water until all that's left is the reflection of the moon. Make your way back around the pool, back around to the doorway, taking one last look at this beautiful space that's all yours. Turn and look back up the long hallway and see that white light above you. And follow that to the entrance of the cave. As you step outside into the light of day, notice how connected you feel, how vibrant and alive everything looks to you. Just let that wash over you. Very carefully put the brush back over the entrance and make your way back up that hill, through the woods, back up the hill, back to that spot where you were sitting, and begin to move your shoulders, wiggle your fingers and toes. Let yourself come back into the physical, and go ahead and set an intention in your journal for this new moon cycle. What do you want to create? What do you want to manifest? What vision do you want to hold for this planet right now? This is a pivotal moment in time. What would you like to see manifest and outpicture? All right. We are going to dance one more time and anchor in those intentions. Here we go. Then we'll close sacred space. Good question, Lynn. Turquoise. Lynn asked what the stone was for March, because we use crystals as well. And in March, we use the turquoise. I give thanks to the elemental forces for holding space for us today. I give thanks for these amazing beings that are doing their sacred work. And I close this circle in the light. All right, lovelies. I'll see you all next month. We'll do something else fun. Bye-bye.